Thank you for visiting the Gasket Guy custom walk-in door order form. I'm going to go over a couple of details on how to order a form and try to answer any questions you may have. The first option we have when ordering a door is the door opening width in inches. So that is measurement A right here. So that is the width of your door. So typically you'll want to order or measure the door from its narrowest point to its narrowest point. In some cases, people like to measure the wider opening of the door, which is also okay. If you have any questions on that, please feel free to give us a call. But typically, again, you'll measure the narrowest part of the door opening. And it's usually in the 37 to 38 inch area range. So that's what we're going to choose here. And then the next option we have here are for the fractions of an inch across. So you're going to measure the door to the nearest 1/8 of an inch. So 38 and 1/8 in this case. Next is opening height, which is B on our diagram here. So you will measure from the floor or threshold to the top of the opening of your existing door. It's usually somewhere in the 77 to 78 inch range. So we'll choose 78. And then we, of course, measure to the nearest 1/8 of an inch. Next, it's going to ask you what application this door is for. So is this door for a cooler or for a freezer? Is it leading into a cooler or is it leading into a freezer? The majority of doors that are ordered are for freezers because they are more susceptible to going bad and getting ice inside the door and freezing and breaking the door apart, but it's not always the case. So in this case, we'll choose freezer. Next, it's going to ask us what side our hinges are on. So your door hinge, do you want the hinges on the right or left? And that is, if you're looking at the door from the outside with the door closed, are your hinges on the right side of the door or on the left side of the door? So in our picture here, we're looking at a new door. The door is closed and the hinges are on the right side. So if your existing door has the hinges on the right side, you would choose right. If your existing door has the hinges on the left side when it's closed and you're looking at it from outside, that would be a left hinge door. Next question that our form asks is what kind of finish is on the door. So a standard door typically will just be galvanized steel. It's just kind of that rough, dull, galvanized metal look, kind of like a tin look. That's what galvanized steel is. And the other option is stainless steel, which is a smooth, shiny, polished looking look. Next, the form will ask you if there's an existing insulated floor. So in other words, do you have to step up into the cooler, or is it a smooth floor from outside the cooler to inside the cooler? Typically, if it's a concrete or tile floor, inside and outside, there is no insulated floor. And typically, if you have to step up into the cooler, that means there is a floor. 4 inch is the most common, but you'll want to measure the height from the floor outside the cooler to the top of the step up into the door to get this measurement. Next, we ask if you need a window. The windows are typically 24 inch by 24 inch. If you need a window, click yes. If there is no window, you would click no. You're welcome to add a window. If you did not have a window before, you can always add a window. Kick plate. So doors will often have kick plates on the outside or the inside or both sides of the door. The kick plate, if we look at our picture here, is a diamond tread metal protector across the front of the door here, which stops the door from being damaged if people are kick it or run carts or fork trucks into it, etc. And if you want the diamond tread kick plate, you can choose how tall you want it to be. In this case, we'll say 24 inches. And then you'll also choose if you want one on the inside of the door. We can do 24 inches again. Do you need a new threshold? The threshold is the metal plate across the floor inside the door jamb. Typically, if you have a freezer door, there will always be a threshold across the floor because there's a heater wire, and your new door will have to have a heater across that threshold to keep it from freezing. And our doors come, if it's a freezer door, the doors will come with a new threshold. If it's a cooler door, they do not come with a new threshold. If you have any notes, you can type in any notes here. A few things that you'll want to look out for when ordering a door. If we look at our drawing here, you will see that this is called the facer. This is the new frame that will be on your new door. It's called a facer, and it's 5.5 inches wide. So you will want to make sure there's nothing impeding you from bolting this new frame to the wall of your walk-in cooler. Sometimes ceilings can be very low and you may not have a full 5.5 inches. That's okay. The minimum that we can make is 3 inches. But if you have less than 3 inches, you'll need to call us. If you have less than 5.5 inches, you will want to note it in the note here. So for example, I'll put a note in here that says ceiling is 4 inches from top of door. That way we know to make your facer only 4 inches across the top so that you can fit it under your wall. Sometimes there's light fixtures, electrical conduit, any number of things can be in the way of this facer from bolting on the door. In most cases, you will have either a thermometer or a light switch that is on the old door right where you want to bolt this new frame. That's fine. Those things will have to be moved. And 95% of the time, you do have to relocate a light switch or a thermometer. They are very easy to relocate and move. And you can always give us a call and we'll tell you how or what the most common way to do that is. And lastly, you are encouraged to include photos of your existing door. So if you want to take some pictures of your existing door and the wall around it from the outside, from the inside, and preferably with the door open so that we can look at it and make sure there's nothing there that we see that you might want to be aware of or that we need to take into consideration when building the door. So you can click on this button and upload a file of your existing door, a photograph. And that's it. Thanks for visiting, and please call us if you have any problems. You can also chat us with the chat button here, and we can answer any questions. But please feel free to give us a call, and we'll walk you through anything you need. Thanks, and have a great day.